what's up, everyone? Welcome to the 44th episode of the Quest Podcast. Tonight, we have not one, but two very special guests with us tonight. Introducing our first guest, Attacktheglitcher. What is up, man? How you been doing?
Oh, yeah. What is going on, everybody? The Glitcher is on the Quest Podcast. And oh my God, guys, I'm glad you guys invited me on tonight's show. I'm super pumped and excited. Thank you, man. I really have no life. I would have done this anyways. But anyways, no, thank you so much for having me on, guys. I can't wait to tear into these topics tonight, man.
Definitely, man. Happy to have you on. And our second guest of the evening, we can't really call him a guest because, I mean, he's pretty much like been on this podcast so many times. He's pretty much like family. He's TripleCupChuck, and he's up. What's up, Triple Cup?
In here, what's good with y'all? What's good with everybody on the panel? I see you. What's up, everybody in the live chat? This is your boy TripleCupChuck, and I'm up, and I'm ready to talk about these games. We got some good topics. We about to get it in, and we about to have some fun and enjoy ourselves around here.
Definitely, man. And starting off with our only panel member of the evening, Remix. What is up, dude? How you doing?
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Hello, Riri here again, you know. I haven't said that one in a while, so I thought I'd bring it back. Anyways, man, excited to get on into these topics for the night. So, let's do it.
Definitely, dude. And I don't know if I introduced myself, but I'm Dark Onimus, and I'll be your host for the evening. So every week we like to try to talk about what we've been playing, and we're going to start off with our first guest, Attacktheglitcher. What have you been playing this week, man?
What have I been playing? Well, here's my problem, man. I have so many damn games to begin with that I've actually been ADDing out on. Like, I'll put one in and I'll be jamming away, and then it's like, oh, yeah. And then, like, 2 seconds later, it's like, I'm going to throw this one in. So, like, I've been jamming between Call of Duty, Titanfall, you name it. I've been just running the gauntlet on all of these games, dude. So I really haven't had a set game that I've been playing. Playing it all, man. Just playing it all.
Yeah, it's that X, man, that's giving you that like, oh, I gotta play this, I gotta play that, I gotta play, you know, and it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
So TripleCupChuck, what have you been playing, man?
Oh, I've been playing a little, pretty much doing the same thing, but just dib and dab and just trying to see what the game's gonna look like with the 4K access on the Xbox X. You know, I've been playing Madden, I've been playing Witcher, I've been little Forza, but then the thing I've been playing the most has been on that Witcher, because me and my cousin, we had a semi, you could call it like a bet, but it don't have nothing to do with money. We said we're not gonna purchase no more adventure games or no RPG games until we finish the Witcher. So for the last 2 weeks, we actually been going hard trying to play the Witcher. And when I say whoever beat that game, I got to salute them. Hours to that game is ridiculous. And I still think I'm not halfway there. I think I made one of the worst bets in video game histories.
Nice. And Remix, what have you been playing, man?
Yeah, man, just been playing COD this week. I prestiged in that game, so I've been getting a fair amount of work in on that. And that's it for me this week.
You've only been playing COD? Oh, wow.
I know I'm not as
well, that's why I prestiged
tonight. I'm prestiged.
Right?
I had to throw that in to be like, I've been playing some games. Like,
well, you definitely been playing a lot more Call of Duty than I have. I've mostly been playing Assassin's Creed Origins on the Xbox One X, because, as you guys know from Twitter, I finally got my X, and dude, this thing has blown everything out of the water. I don't even touch my Pro anymore. I don't even look at my Pro. I'm ashamed of the Pro. I'm like, I just want to throw it away, you know, like, but I think at the end of the day, I think it's definitely a fantastic console. It's worth the money, and Assassin's Creed is just like so detailed. I mean, the amount of detail that they put in this game is it's mind-boggling how much detail they put in it.
Oh yeah.
And then I played a little bit of Call of Duty with Xbot 448. Shout out to them, and Snaps. Shout out to her too. Played a little bit of that with them last night, and that was a lot of fun. We had a blast, and the game actually looks great. Like I was like even with an old engine like COD has, it still looks crazy. But I mean, it's just it's the X, man. It just it makes everything just pop, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I love the console. So great.
And that is definitely like it is worth the investment. The $500 you spend on that thing, dude, it is 100% worth it. So, and like people that are watching, if you have not, do yourself a favor and pick that damn thing up. It is, you will not be disappointed. And like Adamus said, man, he's like, dude, I haven't even touched my pro. I mean, seriously, I've got my pro, and I mean, I haven't really. I've been disappointed with my pro for quite some time. It's very lackluster. I should have kept the regular PS4 because I mean, essentially, the pro is designed for VR, and I really don't give a shit about the VR stuff. So, and it's kind of like I kind of wasted my money on the damn thing. So, but the X is where it's at. So, definitely, yes, invest in it.
Definitely. And we're going to start with our first topic of the evening. Microsoft rolls out the digital game gifting on the Xbox One. Now, there's a few things that you guys kind of need to know about it. It's region locked. Not every game is going to be able to be gifted. And I think there's like a price difference between like regions and things like that. And but what do you guys think of the digital game gifting? Are you guys interested in it? Are you guys going to use it for the holidays? What are you guys' thoughts?
Oh, go ahead, Remix. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, man, I think it's great. I feel like it's kind of a expected thing to come along the road since the digital movement has been so big. And like, will I be using it this holiday? Personally, no, but hopefully somebody uses it to give me a game, So all you people out there, give me games. I like games. But I know that won't happen. So, but yeah, man, it's like I think it's a great thing to have, just kind of like a nice little feature that Xbox has been added in with a bunch of other stuff, So.
I definitely, and I like the idea of it. I love the concept of it. Especially like say like you got a family member or something and you're like, hey, I want this game for Christmas. Cool, boom, it's right there. You ain't gotta go battle stores or whatnot and stuff like that. You could just gift it or whatnot. Or like you got a buddy that's kind of like, I kind of want to try the game, but I don't know if I want to get it, but it does look cool. And it's like, well, bam, there it is. Like it's a very, in my opinion, it's a very convenient thing. And it's a nice, it's awesome. I like the idea of it. You could also do, I believe they have like, you could gift out the Xbox Game Pass, the Xbox Live. So there's more than just the game gifting stuff in there. So it's definitely a great idea. And yes, I'm going to be using it because I mean, the Xbox is the only console that has it. So that's a very definitely going to go that route and use that. And if people out there want to, game gift me, my gamer tag is Attacktheglitcher, Battlefront 2. I'm definitely not opposed to that, but yeah, I like it. I think it's a great idea.
Hey, take a playbook take a play out of Mooch's playbook, man. Mooching, all right.
Oh, mooching.
Yeah, but for me, I think it's a good thing that they're doing something like this. It's kind of especially around the holidays, it's kind of a bonus for a lot of people who own an Xbox to kind of say, hey, you should try this game out with your friend or whatever if it's available to be gifted. The whole region lock thing, I'm kind of like, well, I kind of understand it because of the price differences with because Europe has different prices than we do, and it's kind of sad that they weren't able to like kind of maybe fix that. I'm sure along the line they'll be able to fix it, but as of right now, it's just kind of wonky right now. But I think in the long run, this is going to be a really great service that is gonna only be on Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I got a slightly different opinion about the gift, and to me, it's like a double-headed sword. Like it got its good and it got its bad parts to it. Now, the people saying about the region lock, is a growing pain thing that they got to go through. Saying it's gonna get better, and it's gonna, saying when they start implementing more things about it, like let's say by it being region locked because of the price difference, they might say, okay, well, if you're gonna gift this game to this person, you have to pay the price of the game that's more expensive in they region. That way you'll be able to gift them, and say whatever the taxes might vary from different. So you pretty much purchasing at their price ranges. So I think that's how they're gonna try to implement that, so they'll be able to unlock it from being their region lock on it. And then I was looking at it too, like with the gift in the game, it's cool because let's say if I want to give away a game or do something for somebody, I can give the game away. But they had this one thing. I ain't talking about nobody in particular, but y'all had used the word mooch. And I ain't talking about Mooch 78, you know what I'm saying? That's the big dog, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie. But I'm talking about, like, you know what I'm saying? They got these random, I call it like Mooch trolls, where they'd be like, they just troll for games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you might get somebody that's just trying to be your friend just so they can get a free game from you. You know what I'm saying? Don't have no, say they're really not cool with you or don't have nothing to do with you. They just trying to get some troll a game out you. Like, for example, like people that's on Twitter. I mean, everybody probably ran across some of these people on Twitter where they have a Twitter account, and if you go through their account, all they got is a whole bunch of likes and retweets about free giveaways. When people be giving giveaways, they say, well, just like and retweet this here, you'll be entering a free giveaway, and you can look on their page, and that's all their page consists of.
Because they just want shit.
They just want something free, yeah. So you know what I'm saying, that's the only thing I'm looking at about. The bad part about it is you're going to have a lot of people trying to spam and try to get games from people, or try to a con artist is trying to do things like that to get games out of people. But the whole intent overall is good. It just got some growing pains to go through, and I think it's actually going to get through them real soon. So it's going to actually be a good feature in the near future.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. And the whole mooching thing with a lot of these trolls out there. I mean, we've had experiences with that with our channel, with the Quest podcast, because there are people out there that will show up just because we're giving away a game and will win because they just showed up for that evening. It is sad that we have to deal with those kind of things in the community, but I think in the long run, we'll weed those trolls out eventually.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna move on to the Xbox is working with Blizzard to give Overwatch the X treatment. What do you guys think about this? I think this is absolutely fantastic. I don't like Overwatch. I didn't like playing it, but to be honest, if it's getting the X treatment, I actually might even pick it up just to play it because of the fact that it's going to have that 4K and the HDR, and it's just going to look fantastic. What do you guys think about it?
After all this time, you're going to buy it. After all this nagging, man. All right. Go ahead, Attack.
I was gonna say, I mean, you know what, dude? Like when I first played the beta of this game before it first came out, I was like, it is a beta. I'll wait for the game to actually come out, dude. I love the game, and I think it's a cool game. I enjoyed it. It's goofy. My guy was Soldier 76. He's the run and gun type guy, and that's the type player I am. Run, gun, stick a person, and move. Of course, that's always not the best strategy when you're online because there are more skilled players that are good at sniping and stuff. But I'm the one that always I'll be sitting on the couch doing the battle cry while running at somebody. So I like the animation. I thought the game was goofy and fun. So I mean, I'm glad this game is getting the X treatment. I'll definitely be revisiting the game more now with the better visuals. This is crazy because I was playing Titanfall 2 for a little bit on the X, and then I'd gotten up and my kid had called me and I went in his room and he was playing Titanfall 2 on his Xbox, and I looked and I was like, nope, can't do it, can't look at it, gotta go, bye, gotta leave. So but seeing these games like this, it's just like, man. So yeah, I think that's cool. I'm that's exciting news. Like I said, I enjoyed Overwatch. I think it's a good, goofy, fun game. So yeah, I'm happy for that one. I'm glad that's added to the list. So.
Yeah,
Definitely,
it's
man,
great.
definitely.
Always get seeing more and more titles get the X treatment. That obviously just benefits the console. And I think Overwatch will, like it's a very colorful game. It'll definitely benefit. It'll definitely pop. Looking on that X. But I haven't popped in the game in a while. But yeah, if you do pick it up, Optimus, I'd be down to go back and play some with you. And yeah, overall, I don't have the X personally, so I won't see the benefits myself. But, the more games that are getting the X treatment, as we say, the better. So,
Hey, know what'd be good about the game too? Not just getting the X treatment, but the way the Overwatch, how colorful it is, that it get that HDR and then get a full gamma ray of it with the Xbox X, because they say the Xbox X versions of the game, especially with the HDR, is gonna have more different shades of colors than how the S do. So I'm guessing they could be able to implement that as well. So it's gonna have, like, when you see the colors, it's gonna really pop out at you on top of those in the higher resolution and stuff that is gonna get from there. And I'm guessing that the game is not that demanding where they might actually be able to hit a solid 4K resolution. So with a 4K resolution and the HDR, I think that it'll be a nice looker. They got the money, and then they got Microsoft helping them. So I'm guessing if they got the Microsoft, the Xbox Ninja team going to work about this game, that they really gonna put their foot into it.
I mean, that's the thing, Xbox doesn't even need to probably even, work with them, to get it to have the X treatment, but, it goes to show that Xbox is really just, out there to just, if they're willing to help, they're willing to help, and, it's a good thing to see that. I know there's a lot of companies out there that haven't been doing that, and that's our next topic with EA cuts hero costs for Star Wars Battlefront 2, and the death threats turn out to be fake. What do you guys think of these two? I kind of combine these two. What do you guys think about the heroes getting the cut costs, and then the fake death threats that some douchebag was tweeting out? What do you guys think about these?
Yeah, so the EA cut the hero costs. That's always nice. I still hear that they're pretty pretty pricey, and like there's something about them being originally 10,000, and then the game came out and they're like I think it was Darth Maul, and then he was 60,000. Now they cut it to 15,000, so like it's still above what they're originally going to do. I'm not in the whole Battlefront 2 mix right now. So I don't know that much about like how hard it is to obtain like these credits and such to get Darth Maul. But yeah, at least EA, I mean, EA has been doing some shady practices over the last few months. I feel like we've been talking about them quite a bit. And so that's just unfortunate, but at least, they do somewhat listen to the gamers and have made a price cut. And, hopefully they'll continue to listen to us in the future. Yeah, that's about it.
That's the thing. I mean, a lot of these companies, they seem to want to, cater to the fans, but then also, turn around and make stupid mistakes like this. It's just, it's crazy to me that they even think about it.
Well, you have this constant pendulum of like, the producers and publishers starting to be greedy, trying to toss this little moneymaker in their game or whatever, and then the gamers like leaning in and being like, oh, that's okay, and then them coming out and being like, oh, you can't do that, and then like the companies retracting that slightly, and it's like this constant back and forth. So gamers just have to, be active and, say what's on their mind. So we don't get pushed around,
I absolutely agree with that.
I mean, like the microtransaction thing, it's going to be in games from here on out. So, I mean, I understand, people want to voice their opinions, and I get why people are pissed off about the whole microtransaction and the whole Battlefront 2 thing. But the thing is, too, I mean, and I've said this before now. You're buying, like, I had a discussion with my buddy on the phone earlier about this, and he's like, I picked it up, and it kind of pisses me off that the microtransactions are there. And I'm like, well, ignore them, don't use it. He's like, but dude, you know how much hours you have to put in to unlock Darth Vader or unlock somebody. I was like, so what? Isn't that the purpose? You're buying the game. You're buying the game to play it and have fun. Like, what's the 4,000 hours, or just say 4,000 hours to unlock Darth Vader. It'd be like, well, then he's like, what kind of accomplishment is that? It's like, wouldn't you feel accomplished after putting in that much time and you actually unlocked it? Like, dude, years ago when I played Resident Evil 2, I put in so much time to unlock Hunk and Tofu, and I felt so accomplished doing that. Isn't that the point? Isn't that the point of buying these games? Like, I get that people are pissed off about the microtransactions and how much the shit costs to, all the in-game currency to unlock it. And then you got the microtransactions that might give somebody a buff that will cool down their grenade something longer. But it doesn't mean that's going to make a shitty player a great player. I mean, it's the time and effort you put into the game to play it. I mean, if the game looks fun and everything, look past the microtransactions, because those things aren't ever going away. They're not. Somebody years ago thought it was a great idea to implement these into video games, and as long as they're not impeding on the progression of the game, then don't worry about it.
No, yeah, I totally agree with you on the case of, like, personally, I'm fine with cosmetic microtransactions. I know they're not going away, and I'm not gonna buy microtransactions in a game. It's just, and I do have the same feeling of reward. Like, I definitely understand, grinding out those rewards, like in Borderlands, like, grinding out, trying to get those legendaries, or like even in like Call of Duty, like just trying to get max prestige and different stuff like that. It's just unfortunate when there is pay to play methods in the game, but I know those aren't going away either. So, gamers just have to try to keep that as toned down as possible. But for sure, yeah.
Well, like there was a comment that Silent Wavering put in there. He's like, "There's no sense of accomplishment spending 40 hours to unlock something when a schmuck opens their wall." Well, there's a thing, and I've heard this statement a couple days ago. They're called whales. Now, these guys will spend thousands of dollars on that shit because they don't want to take the time to play the game. They're just going to pay for that. So, I mean, people that actually take the time, there is that sense of accomplishment. Like I said, like I said, I'm going to play the game. I'm going to ignore it. I'll hit the grind. I mean, I've played Destiny. I know what Destiny is. It's a grinder. Division, it's a grinder. I'm going to grind these games. That's why I'm buying them. That's why I play it, and it's like, if Joe Schlo is going to go spend X amount of dollars on his loot crate just because he wants a cooldown buff or something, that's fine. Let him be that. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you got player versus player and he spent thousands of dollars on that buff, but you're quicker on that trigger to kill him, that shit, he wasted money on nothing. That's not going to make him a better player. So
Definitely,
that is true, and like you said, the shitty players will still suck, even though they have all these great, star cards and heroes and things like that. I think, for me, for instance, when I saw it, I was like, when they first announced that the star cards were like really high and like the loot boxes were pretty high, I was like, yeah, they're not going to keep it that way. I just know how the community is of gamers, and we're just so like we're on that shit like so quick. So it's like they of course they couldn't get away with it, and I'm glad that they did cut the costs of the heroes. From what I've seen, it's a huge cut. Actually, it's not like a really small cut. It's actually pretty substantial cut. And on some of the heroes, not all of them. I think Luke Skywalker's is still a little high, and I think Darth Vader's is still a little high.
I think they're like 15,000.
Something like that, yeah. And it's not bad, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, well, if you're trying to get these space bucks or whatever they call them, and every round, it's like, you know, you're still getting the same amount as the person that's, you know, lower than you, and that, I think that's unfair as well, because, you know, if you could do, like, you could kill the game, you know, you could just kill in the game, and you still get the same amount of space bucks as the Joe Schmo that can't shoot for shit, you know. And
Yeah.
That
Wait,
sucks.
really? You all get the same amount?
Yeah, you get the same amount. And that's.
I feel like that should be tied to either what the amount that you get should either be contributed to how well you do, like how much you're doing for your team. I definitely think that should be in it, like a points accumulated as well as progression. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's get triple cup. What about your thoughts, man?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, if let's say for example, if it's a single player game and whatever they want to do, I don't that part I really don't have no cares about. Like if a person want to pay $19.99 to get to the last boss on the last with an invincibility to hit him with one punch to defeat him and he finish the game. If you want to pay $60 for a game and have a cheat code where you get to the end boss and beat the game with one punch, that's what you want to do. I don't have no worries about that. But when it comes to like these multiplayer games, I prefer them to keep it like cosmetic. But the way they doing it, you could tell that they have to do that because they know that. I mean, by now, I mean they can't be that slow or that dumb to not know that there's gonna be a big backlash with EA, to know that they're gonna have a lot of people complaining. Even though Star Wars, you're gonna have a lot of casuals that's gonna play the game. They're gonna play it every now and again, and know they're not gonna be able to put no 1,000 hours, knowing they're not gonna be able to put 100 hours in the game. So they'll drop a couple dollars to actually be able to get the opportunity to play with what with the characters and what they want to play with. So what I was looking at is what they could have been doing, it because, you know, Star Wars is such a high commodity, and who knows the price they had to pay for this license of Star Wars. They have to start trying to implement a whole bunch of different ways of recouping their money back as fast as they possibly can, because they don't know how you know what I'm saying, how long, you know, they don't know how long they're gonna have it, but you know how much money they're gonna be able to make off of it. And it's even though it's Star Wars is almost guaranteed, it's still a big risk.
Yeah, you bring up a good point.
And that's the thing. This game was like one of the most anticipated games of the year, and then it was all the way up until it almost launches, and it's like they're like, oh, we're gonna just fuck it up, you know. And it's like, dude, come on, guys, like, what are you guys doing over there at EA? You know,
it's like, dude, we totally screwed the first one. We're totally redeeming ourselves, and then we're gonna kind of fuck ourselves at the same time.
Exactly. Now, what do you guys think about the fake death threats that were going around on Twitter? What do you guys think about this guy? I mean, he seems.
I didn't follow that.
Seems like a scumbag to me, but
I mean, that's one thing. You know, okay, you know you're getting shit. So now they're looking for some type of sympathy, like, oh, hey, that's just bogus as hell. You don't need to be throwing shit up there like, oh, I'm getting 7 death threats a day and I have to keep them down for legal reasons. Well, dude, you're an ass blast for the top of that for just making that shit up. Right. So ain't nobody got time for your bullshit. So that's all I'm going to say about that topic, because after finding out that guy was actually lying about it, it's like, dude, you can go blow. So, but that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, who doesn't get death threats nowadays? You know, like we work and live on the internet. You know, and we're gonna get death threats. We're gonna get somebody who just hates their life and just wants to see the world burn, and that's just what they're gonna do. You know, that's just how they are. And some of them think it's funny, and others think it's, you know, it's just the way they are. And you know, and for this guy to come out and basically make it a fake thing, it's just, there's no rhyme or reason for it. And then he should, his Twitter account, I think, should be you know, maybe not completely deleted, but I think
no, it
temporarily, like, you know, on hiatus, you know, like a timeout. Put him in a timeout, damn it.
Is he an employee of EA or anything? Or
No, he's not. He's just some dude.
He's just some schlub that decided, hey, I'm gonna say I'm a part of this, and I'm gonna totally make some fake. No, like, see, shit, like that's stupid, because that's also gonna be, because now that it's come out that it's fake, it's also gonna put more fuel to the fire towards EA. It's like, well, what, you got people making crap for you so we can feel like sympathy or some shit, and it's like that's stupid. It's really dumb, and that was dumb on this guy's part. I could banter about this asshole all day, but I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I couldn't believe that. I was starting to hear about it. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of sucks. That's kind of shitty that somebody would, send him like 7 death threats a day. That's that's terrible. And then all of a sudden, like last night, it come to find out that it was like fake. You told me about it, actually, Glitch, and I was just like, what? I was like, I have to hear about this. I started looking it up online. I was like, what? Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, because like when you were like, when we were BS, and I was like, hey, let's talk about this, and you're like, you got quiet, and then all of a sudden the article popped up, and I'm like, yeah, he's seen it now. He must not have known about it. So yeah, oh yeah, it's. Like fake death threats, yes, exactly. Death Mobile, faking a death threat is not funny. It's not cool. It's stupid.
That should be a federal offense to fake a death threat, though. It's not. It's not. People don't really do it, but there's one chance out of 1,000 somebody might be really ill in their mind to actually try to fulfill a death threat and try to actually kill a person. Like like the girl that voiced Laura Croft. She was getting all these death threats. That's why I don't think that's cool to even attempt to even play like you was getting for some attention, because people be going through some serious stuff and they don't know if that 1% it might be a real person that's really trying to kill them. And the only thing they trying to do is help make a video game to bring joy to people. But then you got this one ass hat that do something stupid.
Yeah, it's like. That shit's not funny. That's not cool. Yeah, that's wow. Like I said, I'm gonna move away. I'm gonna stop talking about this topic because I'm gonna my blood pressure is gonna start rising because that shit is stupid. Like, I'm done.
he's like, I don't want to raise my blood pressure, but yeah. Remix, what did you think about this? Did you chime in on it at all, or were you didn't know?
No, I didn't really see anything about this or follow it. Definitely messed up that he's faking death threats, but yeah, we'll just send it off there.
Yeah, that's just the day and age of the internet, right? I mean, just people do crazy shit all the time on the internet. Doesn't ever surprise me, but we're gonna move on to something else that EA has been doing. They teased a new action game. What do you guys think about this? We don't really have too many details, but for what it seems like it's gonna be somewhere along the lines of what Anthem's gonna be like. It seemed like, I mean, from the article, I was just like, okay, well, I don't know where they're going with it, but what did you guys think about it?
I think EA need to pump their brakes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think EA need to pump their brakes. I mean, they pumping out too many games. You got Star Wars this year. You got Anthem next year. You got another Battlefield coming out. You got your Mads. You got your Live. But all the games that we know to love that we looking forward to, like the Def Jam Fighters, the Fight Nights. The EA Bigs. Then they whole line of indie games that they supposed to be coming out with. We still ain't getting word from those games, and then excuse me. Then you got Titanfall. You got another Titanfall they should be in the works of making. They got too many games they need to be focusing on, because if they don't, like this game here, it might be interesting, but it might get swallowed because that's a company that I'm starting to see that's known for eating its own kind.
Honestly, I think they were trying to do this just to kind of put a little bit of water on the flames of what's been going on.
Well, what I think is they made this announcement to kind of like negate the effects of like visceral Star Wars shutting down, like kind of be like, oh, but we have another like action adventure game or whatever it's going to end up being. It's been in the works for like 2 years, they said, but there's just really not many details on it. Besides that, I don't really see why they would announce this at this moment with really no information. But yeah, definitely Triple Cup brings up a good point with all the projects they have and projects they've been shutting down as well, such as Visceral Star Wars. So, really, I hope that they take a focus on Anthem, because they're talking a bit about how they really want to get in. They've like made a lot of shooters and there's some other genre they're talking about. I can't remember, but
Anthem.
And they really want to get into kind of the action adventure type of game, such as, Anthem and this other game that they're going to be making. So, I really hope they just put some time and effort into Anthem, because I feel like that's like going to be their big game, and, hopefully is a hit and enjoyable for everybody to play. And overall, like the announcement, it's just there to, put out some fires if there were any, or cover up the Star Wars Visceral game a bit or whatever,
But that's the thing, it really didn't,
it didn't because there's no real announcement there, so.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is this game's like maybe another 2 years out anyways. Like, haven't devs and publishers learned by now, like, don't announce your games too soon, because it doesn't look good. It just, this is the kind of thing we get, where it's just like, oh, we're teasing a new game and we have no details on it. It's just like, okay, thanks EA for ruining my entire weekend. What did you think
I really didn't see much on it, but I do agree with Triple Cup, man. It's like they got a whole list of games coming out. You should be focusing on those, especially like, I know the biggest one that a lot of you guys have been mentioning, and it's one that I'm really looking forward to, is Anthem. That one I think is one they should really put a lot of focus into. I mean, they got their other games they're working on, but yeah, if you put too much on your plate, one of these games are going to start struggling, and then they're going to start getting delays because you got too many people spread out working on too many projects. So all of these games, I mean, yeah, if the game's 2 years out, whatever, cool, but focus on the ones that you really caught people's attentions with. And I'm gonna reiterate what you guys have been saying, is Anthem. That is probably right now. And to be honest, before all this bullshit with the Battlefront, this was one of their biggest ones a lot of people were looking at. So like, you should really be focusing on your heavy hitters that are like, dude. Like, seriously, after they showed the Anthem trailer and we saw some gameplay and stuff, they should be really showing more and more of that one. That should be like their number one hit one right there. They should be showing, because
that's their showcase. They should,
especially after the release of Battlefront 2, like, it should be like Anthem all the way,
right?
So,
just start throwing Anthem stuff at us, just to put out the flames, man. Come on, but I think it's really goes to show you that EA it is trying, because I just got a message from Death Mobile. Shout out to Death Mobile. Apparently the Star Wars, apparently they're turning the in-game purchases off at EA for Star Wars Battlefront 2 temporarily, apparently. And it seems like they're kind of going to go back and probably rework it and probably make some huge changes to it. So, I mean, that's kind of good for now to kind of do that. So, I mean, that's something that they actually came out and stated. But I'm still skeptic on what they're gonna do for the time being, because
people were talking about this in the chat too, saying that it's suspended temporarily and stuff. So hopefully this temporarily is for quite some time. So, but Yeah, like I had a couple guys down here talking about the Anthem. They're like, "What's Anthem?" So they're looking it up right now. So yeah, definitely check out Anthem if you have not seen or heard anything on this game yet. That should be, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure these guys agree, this should be their showpiece they should be working on.
Definitely,
Yeah.
and they especially since that game's going to be getting the X treatment and the bells and whistles. That game's going to look fantastic, man. I can't wait for it. I mean, I think it's going to be a fantastic game, but time will tell to see if it kills Destiny off.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a tough road to kind of beat there. But did we get anything about TripleCupChuck? Did you say anything about the death threats or the what we've been talking about?
Yeah, but with the theft threats, but with the EA, with the whole concept of this whole cabocracy about this microtransaction, they trying to leak out a new game just to try to keep people from worrying about Star Wars. The best advice they could do is shut the fuck up. When they say something, I guarantee you they're gonna say something wrong. They're gonna say something messed up, and there's gonna be something that's gonna put them even deeper in the path. So they need to shut up, work on what they need to work on, fix what they need to fix, listen to the community, and whatever they can implement, they need to do that. They don't need to come and try to do all these PRs and say, try to explain why and all this stuff, because they ain't gonna do nothing but dig them into a bigger ditch. And this whole dropping of this game, that's messed up, because I don't want to see the game, because it's like you said, gonna be 2 years out. I'm tired of seeing games 2 and 3 years out, because I was anticipating Spider-Man. I was anticipating God of War. I'm anticipating Days Gone, but they've been so long out and they've been talked about so much. I'm actually burnt out on even on Xbox games. It's been like that, like Crackdown. I'm burnt out. I'm really tired about that game.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, I kind of am, but I that's a game I really wanna play. So it's just that's a carrot that's in front of me.
Dude, did you sign up to try? Did you sign up to do the technical alpha stuff?
Man, look, I even talked to the creators in Sea of Thieves, you know what I'm saying, on Twitter. We are chopping it up, and he was like, you got to be in the he told me I had to be in the alpha program to actually get into Sea of Thieves now. So I wouldn't even be able to get into it at all. So I don't know nothing about it. And
oh my god, dude! I'm gonna tell you, dude, that game is fun as hell, dude.
Man, I'm salty. You said throw salt on. I'm good. I got a cut. And
salt the wound.
I mean, I don't mean that. I'm just telling you right now, man, because if you're looking forward to it, this is definitely gonna be a game that you are gonna want to play with other people. Definitely. Like I was just messing around on the solo mode and everything, and of course, being the technical alpha and everything. Right when you start the game, it says you can't take pictures, you can't upload videos or do stuff like that. Because of the embargo and shit. And I was just like playing this and I'm like, man, I wish I could show other people this game. This game is just, I mean, it had its few glitches and errors, but it's a tester. But dude, yeah, definitely. Once that beast is released and you get a group of people, you are going to enjoy your ass off on that thing.
I was in the tech test a couple months ago. And I enjoyed what I played of it, but I was like, I don't want to play anymore because I want to see the final product. And I don't know if I'm going to go back to it or not. I don't know if I'm actually going to pick it up or not, because, I mean, I had fun with what I played, but there was just not enough content. And I know they've added a lot of content to Sea of Thieves that's kind of changed the game completely. But I just need to see more, I think, in terms of just like how gameplay works. And I mean, I know how the gameplay works from the tech test, but I think, I want to see like what are they really going to add to it that's going to actually draw me in and make me want to actually play it.
Yeah. Since we're talking about it for a second, I wanna see what the progression is like what they're gonna how they're going to keep you coming back, like getting together and messing around in the world and playing with your friends. That's all good and fun. But at some point that gets boring and you need something to keep you going. So I want to see what they add to, bring you back to the game. If there's some kind of progression and whatnot. For me, real quick, in the alpha. Yeah, I waited so long to get in there, and then I finally got in. In it, but like I got the email, but it was like it had been so long. I was like, I'm burnt out. I'm just gonna wait for the final thing. Like like screw it.
Yeah,
So I've never actually played it.
At this point, I think it's best to just wait until the actual release of the game to come out. Because I think is it still in alpha or is it in beta now? Which
I think it's still, because I just got an email recently saying that they were going to have another technical alpha go up, but they had some issues with this last run, so it didn't go up this weekend. So I haven't heard anything since. But I know one of the last things I saw they were talking about is they were, I believe, I don't remember if they called it live bounties or live contracts or whatever, but like each day they'll put up a live contract that you and your crew can actually fulfill for the day to unlock more stuff, and each day they'll add like multiple different live bounties or something. So because
that's really cool, actually.
Yeah, because
you ain't supposed to be saying that, huh?
Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna move on from that.
It happens.
We are fuzzy. I'm not saying we are fuzzy. We are fuzzy is the name of the company. Unveils their new game titled Sleep Tight for the Switch. What do you guys think of this? Do you guys have a Switch? Are you gonna pick this game up for the Switch? What do you guys think?
I don't own a Switch yet, but I got a good friend of mine that I've known for like over 20 years, and he's like, you know what, man? He's like, for Christmas and a birthday present, I'm gonna get you a Switch, and I'm like, hey, that's cool. So no, but other than that, much Switch games I don't know a whole lot of, because I should really be looking more into it anyways, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with the Switch. There's a lot of good stuff out there like I want to play, like Mario Odyssey for one. So, but like I wish that game looks freaking amazing. So, but I have not yet got a Switch, but I know my buddy's getting me one. So once I get one, I know I'm going to be yakking away about that more.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, just so you guys know, the Sleep Tight is a twin stick shooter. It's it kind of reminds me a little bit of like a mixture of Fortnite and Diablo, like where you get to build your fort and then you basically just
well, it's kind of a tower defense.
Yeah, it's like a tower defense. Yeah. And it looks interesting. It looks fun. I mean, it's definitely something I would actually probably pick up and play if I had the Switch and take it on the go with me. Just because I think a lot of those games are really best on the go and mobile. Just because you can just jump in and play for a little while and then jump back out. But yeah, I'm
it looks like a fun little game. Yeah, it looks like a fun little game. Yeah, like you're a little kid in your bedroom and like building forts. You like build up your fort, and then the monsters come and get you at night, and you're shooting them with your modded out like Nerf guns and stuff. So that's like I just like the premise. It seems fun. I don't currently have a Switch. If I did get one over the holiday, this is like a game like maybe I'd get down the line, not immediately, just because there are like so many other Switch games that I would want to pick up immediately, and the money starts to stack up if I do end up getting a Switch this holiday. So but yeah, it looks like a fun little game for sure.
Yeah, especially with Zelda and Super Mario
Odyssey
and Mario
there's
Kart.
There's quite a few games. Like I would, if I could, like I would probably buy like 8 games with my purchase of the Switch, but I don't got that kind of money.
You ain't got that video game money. You ain't got that Nintendo money.
Ballin'.
Oh shit! I mean, yeah, that you got to start putting in the 15 hours like me and TripleCupChuck over here, man. Then you'll have that video game money.
Dude, I'm working hard. I'm working away hard in school. That's what I'm about right now.
There you go.
That's what's up. Hey, the only thing about it is when you work hard like that, your time would be limited. You got money when you got money, you don't have the time. When you had the time, you don't have the money. So either way it go, it'd be a lose-lose situation. So that's my tip for you. When you get older, you're gonna realize everything's still the same thing.
Great point there.
Now remember, it's gonna be crazy. But that's the same thing I feel about with the Switch. With me, I just don't see myself sinking no $300 on a Switch, and I'm not really gonna be playing it. Like I like Mario. That'd be something that'd be cool for me to pick up and play for a few minutes. Zelda. Same thing. But those games they're bigger games that you may need to. You actually could sit down and play for a nice period of time. But the way for me with the Switch, the way it's designed is more for a game I want to pick up and play for a few minutes, like right here now, right quick. I'm waiting on somebody to do something, or I'm taking my people to the doctor, or whatever. I just want to sit down and play for about a quick 30 minutes, or whatever. But like a game like Mario or Zelda, you got to. To me, that's something I want to just be sitting at the house playing. But when I'm at the house, I'm gonna be on the Xbox, so I don't see myself playing the Switch because they have all these other games. So I just can't see myself purchasing the Switch, at least right now. Maybe, when I start breaking this catalog down, the Switch go down in price. Then I might say, well, that Switch look, it's going to still be around. I don't think it's going to be like the Nintendo, what was that last system they just came out with? The one that nobody remembers?
The Wii U.
Oh, that system right there, the one nobody remembers. it ain't gonna be like that. I think the Switch gonna be around for a while, so I don't really have to purchase it right now because the next 2-3 years I think the Switch still gonna have legs, so that's why I ain't really concerned about it right now.
Well, I mean, they even predict that it may even surpass the PS4, which is a huge feat to kind of go after. But I don't know with the Pro being out and
who's that? Some random analysis though, or
analyst. Those random analysts.
Analysts are always make it. I mean, like I'm not saying like there's like it couldn't happen, like it could, but I'm just saying there's some analyst that makes every kind of prediction out there, and 99% are wrong. So,
I mean, I think the Switch could almost get close to the PS4 Pro, the PlayStation. I think it could because it's a great system. I'm not gonna lie, it's unique, it's great, and I think it honestly could actually go toe to toe with PlayStation sales.
For sure. I mean, it has its own spot. Like it's which I think benefits it. It's not. I feel like it's not necessarily directly competing with the Xbox and the PlayStation. It's got its own corner, but like a lot of people that have the Xbox or the PlayStation want the Switch as well. So I definitely think it'll do well and continue to do well for a while.
Oh yeah,
I think it's gonna top off at 60 million. I don't think it's gonna hit PlayStation and Xbox numbers. Like overall, I don't think it's 60 million. That's good for a handheld. 60 million, that's good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see it hitting. Like, what I'm saying? If they talking about what the PlayStation numbers is right now, it being able to surpass what they have right now. But in the next 5 years, whatever the PlayStation sold, the Nintendo passing that number, I doubt that. But you know what I'm saying? It hitting that 60 million, I could kind of see that within the next 5 years.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Nintendo's always too. You also got to think like, they've always been their own thing. They've just done what they've wanted to do. They've never been really in competition with the other guys. I mean, seriously, like look at when the Wii came out. It wasn't all graphics, but it was all about fun factor, and that's the thing. The Wii was its own thing. The Wii U is its own thing. Nintendo's always just been about what Nintendo wants to do and deliver what they think will be fun for their fan bases. Of course, when you dock the Switch, it's got the higher res on the TV and stuff, and when you take it out, it's lower res on the handheld. I mean, if they wanted to compete, of course they could have jammed more money into the screen for when you take it out of the dock to walk it around, but then that's people spending more money out of it, but on the device. So it's like, Nintendo's always been their own thing. So yeah, I mean, even if they don't get close to PlayStation sales, which I think they would get somewhat close, I don't think they really care. I think they're just like, hey, we're Nintendo, we're going to do what we want to do, and people are going to always pick up Nintendo because of the nostalgic reason. So
agreed. Yeah, I agree with that. So GameStop, their game rental program They actually postponed it for a little while. Apparently, the reason is because there was some limitations with the game rental, the used game rental service. What did you guys think of this? To me, it just shows that GameStop is just going downhill even more, and they're just plummeting to the ground, and they're probably never going to pick themselves back up, even with this whole game rental program that they have going on. But what are your guys' thoughts?
They realized that was a dumbass idea. Because who in the hell in their right mind gonna pay what it was $100 to get
I think it's
used
60
game?
now.
Oh, it's 60? But that's
Yeah.
still too much to pay for a used game, even though you can keep trading this used game in, and then at the end of whatever the period is, you stuck with whatever used game that you have, even if, let's say, if you try to go get something else, but you don't find nothing that you want at that point of time, and you stuck with a game that you probably didn't like from that $60. I mean, then it's another dumb idea because Xbox got the Game Pass. Another dumb idea is because you got Redbox. You could just go to a Redbox. If you want to play with a used game and play for a little while and return it, you got a Redbox where you pay, what, $2, maybe $3, whatever it is. I ain't never
Something
did
like
it.
that,
But I know at Redbox, you could do it all day long. So that's irrelevant from GameStop to be doing. Actually, I'm one of the biggest people that's saying off with GameStop head because GameStop is really killing the industry on so many different forms of fashion. It should be criminal, the stuff that they're getting away with.
Agreed. Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely agree with Triple Cup. We've talked about some of their shady policies in the past as well, but I didn't read too much into what exactly their program was. But from what I understand is you pay I guess the $60, and then for 6 months you can play whatever used games you want for that 6 month period, and then you renew it or whatever. Which is kind of weird to do it in 6 months because it's really $120 a year then. But yeah, honestly, like I think they're probably like maybe not that many people would be interested, or either they're just like they don't want their used games out that long. Potentially you could have a game out for 6 months or something like that. But yeah, I agree. Like GameStop, I don't even pay attention to them. I haven't been to a GameStop in a few years now, so yeah, that's pretty much my sentiment.
I mean, I don't think now. Honestly, my opinion is this. I mean, it's not a bad idea. $60 for 6 months. I mean, like I got GameFly, so I use them, and the pricing isn't bad. I think I spend like $30 for 4 games out, and I get a discount if I want the games. $60 for 6 months. Like I said, I don't think it's bad. Now, here's the thing too. A lot of people kind of like, oh yeah, it's kind of a crappy idea because you're getting a used game now. Say, prime example. Okay, somebody bought the new Call of Duty and they didn't like it and they turned it in. Well, that's the used game. You can get that. And actually it's whatever used game I believe is whatever at the end of the 6 months you actually get to choose whatever used game you want to keep. That was to my understanding. I don't think it's whatever the last one you have. That's the one you're stuck with. I think to what I saw, it was it's whatever one you wanted from the list you picked from.
So it's whatever they got in stock.
Is it?
Whatever they got at their location, or whatever game you have at that time. But let's say if you go, your last day is tomorrow, you go with this game and you can go trade this game in to whatever used game that they have in stock. So if they got nothing but nonsense up there, something that you don't like, you stuck with the game that you have.
But they're probably gonna have a used game that's somewhat new on the market. Honestly, I think that they like what I was trying to get to is I feel like they I didn't know about the whole keep the game thing, but that kind of adds to my point is I feel like they pulled the plug because they're like, this is too good for a consumer. What I was saying is like they have their games are out. People are putting hours on these games, and at the end they get to keep one of the games, whatever it ends up being, even if it's just the last game that they had. Like you're, and if those games end up being like those Call of Duties, just like a month or two after it's been out, well, yeah, and you're losing sales, even though that even though GameStop's been going downhill anyway.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of like why I think they might have pulled it. Anyway.
Well, I think they realized that this rental program was not shady enough, so that's why they postponed it.
They didn't implement enough restrictions to where it could screw the customer over. So
it was too good to be true. Is what I was saying.
You can't switch out like 50 games within a month. It has to be restricted to one game a month.
Yeah. Wait, somebody sounds like they're enjoying this idea. We got to make it to where it sucks.
Hey, now, since y'all said that, know it. On top of that, know it actually might be. Okay, they pushing the time back right for when the program start. So when the program start, let's say they pushed it back to let's say March of next year, right? Now, March of next year, all the games that's new that's going to be up in price, they're going to drop down in price anyway. So, like if they do it like right around this time of the year here, let's say if a person, like you say, had Call of Duty, didn't like Call of Duty, he returned Call of Duty. Now, a person will go grab, they got Call of Duty. Boom, they're going to get, that's the first game they're going to go grab. Now, they can't just sell that game for $55. Now they got, because it's inside their program, but if their program come out in like February, March, where there ain't no new games is really coming out around that time, then you can't, then they ain't worried about they making their money off that $55. They got, none but these games that came out last year. Now the price of them is actually like $49 to $30. So they ain't really gonna be losing as much because they already selling them games at a lower price because they older games now. It ain't the time of the year probably is what really matters as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is just GameStop just needs to go away, and we can get to the real like type of gaming that we all enjoy. I mean, you're still going to be able to get your physical copies at like somewhere like Best Buy or Target or or Walmart, and I know that that's probably like even worse because you have the customer service, I guess, is a little bit more resilient at those kind of places. They're kind of more like you just come and go in and get your game and get the hell out. But I think
well, see, the thing is, I don't really like, besides the GameStop's trading crap, I mean, I really don't have a problem with GameStop, actually. I mean, I've got a lot of friends that work there. They've always helped me out. They've always hooked me up. I've always brought them business and stuff. I have, like, their trading values suck. I'm not even gonna pretend like, oh no, it's not that. No, that shit sucks. Like, you buy a game and then 2 days later, dude, this game sucks, I'm gonna go trade it in. It's like, okay, I'll give you $5 for it. Wait, what? I mean, yeah, that part sucks. Like, but I mean, GameStop really isn't that horrible. Maybe just in the area I'm in, I got a lot of cool people that work at GameStop.
No, yeah, I mean, like, for me, my experience when I went to GameStop was like, I walk in, I already knew what game I wanted. I bought the fucking game. The reason I stopped going to GameStop in the beginning was just like, I was like, I don't want to fucking drive out to that GameStop. I rather and it's more convenient for me to have the game digitally because then I can move it around from house to house and, put it on a hard drive and not need to worry about the disc. And like, that's why, like, I'm just like, now I'm just digital,
Yeah.
Or GameStop trying to sell you a whole bunch of other shit. Like, no, man, I don't want that year subscription to this. No, I don't want. They keep trying to sell you stuff. Then when you walk in, you be like, hey, I would like to purchase such and such game. And they be like, oh, you want it for the PlayStation? You don't say PlayStation, Xbox. They go automatically go grab for the PlayStation. Like, how do you know this? You just assuming. Stop trying to sell me stuff I don't want. That's my whole thing, too. They do that. And then they say, trade in some old games. We'll give you such and such extra credit. 5%. 5% of what? Oh, that's a nickel? No, I don't want that.
I guess I'm kind of lucky because I mean, here in California we don't have too many people around here who are like, I mean, we do have, well, at least where I live, we don't have a lot of people who buy PlayStation. There's actually heck of a lot more PlayStations at our Best Buy than there are Xboxes because Xbox is just goes off the shelf over here. But I think
Wait, what was that? Xbox goes off the shelf over there? Oh,
Yeah.
and there's a place that Xbox sell. Oh no, but
Yeah.
Xbox doesn't sell. I'm just.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But with GameStop, I haven't had the only problem I've ever had with GameStop with the employees is when they're trying to sell me on the year subscription of the Pro, whatever they call the Pro rewards, and they're always like, "Well, you saved like this much last year, like $120," and I'm like, yeah, because I didn't buy anything from here. All I bought was maybe like a used game here and there if I wanted it, if I couldn't find it somewhere else, like if I, but for the most part, I try to buy my stuff digitally now, as much as I can. But we're going to move on from that because we kind of beat that one to a dead horse. But
yeah, we need to
a dead horse. I think you're looking forward to a pulp.
Whatever. Hulu is actually working on a live action Hitman TV series. Did you guys look at this? What did you guys think about it? Are you guys even interested? It looks like they're kind of taking a play out of John Wick, the John Wick movies, and it looks like it's going to be something that's going to be entertaining because it looks like they're actually to follow what the series, is like. What do you guys think?
Yeah, for me, I know Attack's gonna get in here, but real quick, like my 2 cents is, we're all of us as gamers, we're getting automatically be skeptical because video game movies and have turned out to be shit, and there haven't been as many TV shows, but they just haven't turned out well. So they've made some bad Hitman movies and stuff in the past as well. So you just gotta hope that it'll be good. If it is kind of John Wicky, that'd be cool. But although I like John Wick, it is just nonstop action, which works fine for a movie. But for a TV series, you need some kind of sustenance. You need some kind of story. So, hopefully, if they do end up, if they are taking a John Wick route with this series, hopefully they have some kind of sustenance and story element in there because it can't just be, fucking 12 episodes or 20 episodes or whatever it ends up being of nonstop action. Like, there has to be something there. So
that's what the Punisher better be.
But yeah, I mean, the Punisher, dude, the Punisher is such a great story, but there has been some screw jobs with the Punisher. Like, the first movie sucked. I didn't like the first one. So, and then
you mean the one with Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah, with Dolph Lundgren. I did not like it. Like, me and my brother argue about this all the time. He's like, "How did you not like it?" And I was like, "Because it was not good."
A lot of people don't even know that there was one with Dolph Lundgren in it. Actually, they were like, "What? There's a Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren?"
Yeah, because they thought Kevin James one was the first one. It's like, no,
that's the second one.
Yeah,
that's 3 Punisher movies out.
Yeah,
already.
Yeah. There's and people bag on Warzone. Like, Warzone was terrible, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Warzone actually was probably one of the best adaptations of Punisher. So, but the Hitman thing, I have zero hope that it's going to be good. I have zero hope at all that it's going to be anything. Like, the movie sucked, and it ruined everything for kind of like how the Spawn movie was for me. Once that first Spawn movie came out, it ruined Spawn for me. And the first Hitman movie came out, and that ruined Hitman for me. I'm like, well, nope. So that's how I feel about it, and I don't think there's any type of show that could redeem it. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, but then Hulu, what I look at with Hulu, they haven't proven themselves to me. Like Netflix, I give them a stamp of approval, because of what they did with Marvel. But with Hulu, I just don't see the budget ain't really is there yet. The writing be okay. Like I kind of try to watch the Misfits that was on Hulu. It was an original series, and it was based on superpowers and stuff like that, and being able to do. But the budget was so low, so I'm guessing they trying to compete with Netflix because Netflix got House of Cards, they got Orange New Black, and they got all the Marvel properties that just punishing the network right now. You know what I'm saying? Netflix is really killing it. So I guess Hulu is really trying to put their foot into the door. You know what I'm saying? You got your Game of Thrones and stuff like that. See, shows like that is really hitting hard. And then what I'm hearing is Netflix is going to have the new Witcher. So the Netflix with the Witcher, they might hit hard like with the Game of Thrones. So Hulu got to do something with this Hitman. They got to really bring it. I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult to make a Hitman story because it's pretty much generic. Where you know what I'm saying, people put out hits, you go do hits. You got something tragic that happened to you that you got to go through, and you know what I'm saying, they put together a season. But it's all about the quality of the production was gonna really make it or break that movie or that TV series.
I have to say that I apologize for to Netflix for TripleCupChuck bringing up the House of Cards because the whole situation with Kevin Spacey.
Oh yeah,
that whole thing. But no, I agree with you, Chuck. The Hulu hasn't proved anything to us at all. It's just basically they're trying to kind of like hook up with something that's Netflix-esque that that hasn't really. I don't think there's anything on Hulu that I've ever actually really liked, except for some of the TV shows that they get that Netflix doesn't get.
I don't even have Hulu, but I just got Netflix, and I have like the Amazon Instant Video, which I don't use as much, but I use for some things. Like I have like the HBO Plus or whatever on through Amazon Prime. Yeah, through Amazon Prime. So like I get like Game of Thrones and stuff on there personally.
Well, see, there you go. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about the all this other stuff like Hulu and things. And I think the TV series it might be good. But like you said already, remakes, they're gonna have to do something more than just action the whole time, because I mean that's what John Wick is basically just the action the whole time. I mean there's story elements,
especially the second one.
Yeah,
you guys are probably gonna make fun of me on this statement, but I don't like Keanu Reeves, so like I really don't like those movies.
How dare you?
Like I actually have a clip on my channel where I edited to where there's one scene of the John Wick movie where he's shooting his gun and all you hear is whoa, 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 whoa. So
hey, but the dude that played the new Flash on the movie, he kind of remind me of Keanu Reeves. Like he looks like a super stoner or something. Like how an action person playing or a stoner playing an action role. That's what Keanu Reeves reminds me of.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the Hulu with the Hitman TV series?
Well, everybody agree that 9 out of 10 is gonna suck.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that's the end of the show, folks. Absolutely a fun time tonight.
Oh yeah.
Wanna do our little outros here. I'm gonna start with Attacktheglitcher. Where can they find you, man?
All right, guys. If you are new to hearing me or seeing me on their podcast, my channel is called Attack the Glitcher. I have it up on YouTube. If you check it out, feel free to subscribe there. I got Xbox content that goes up every other day. I run a podcast on Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time called the X Power Podcast. You should check that stuff out too, man. It's good times. And you can also follow me at Twitter at Attack Glitcher, or you can hit me up on Xbox at Attack Glitcher. So Attack the Glitcher is my YouTube channel. Go there now and sub if you have not done that yet. And Attack Glitcher Twitter, and Attack Glitcher Xbox, and all that lovely good stuff. Oh yeah.
Definitely, man. Go subscribe to his channel. He does really good content, and I still have to check out your podcast, but I'll definitely be checking that out.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, I had seen one for Monday night. Yeah, it was lit.
TripleCupChuck, where can we find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter, the Xbox. You can find me on YouTube at TripleCupChuck, Triple Cup, one word, then Chuck. And I recently started my podcast on Wednesday nights. It's gonna be after Porter Rocks and after Crap Gamer show go off. And I think it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. So, but just whenever theirs go off, like within the next hour, mine usually be coming out. And mine is mine is called the Vibration Podcast, and we talk about Marvel, DC, comic books, anime, video games, and it's just like a mixture of all. Well, you might have people that's PlayStation gamers on there, you have Xbox gamers on there, but we all Marvel and DC fans, so you might get. Excuse me, you might get a person that's a DC fan and a Marvel fan, but one of them is an Xbox and one of them is a PlayStation person. So you get a mixture of people doing like different ways. Like last podcast I had Porter Rock and I had Kaleidoscope on there. And if anybody know who Porter Rock is and anybody know who Kaleidoscope is, just imagine them two on a podcast and they really vibing together, getting along well. I mean, it was all love and it's all support. It's like a safe haven away from the console wars. We just talk about video games, and we talk about the comic books. Like we just did a whole section about the Punisher that's coming out this Friday. So you can catch me on the Wednesday nights, you know what I'm saying, getting it in. You know what I'm saying? All of us, our family, we all people, you know what I'm saying? I love this community. I love everybody in it. We need to keep this thing going, you know what I'm saying, build it up stronger. We need to be the main media. Well, actually, we going to be the main media. So we finna run them out the business.
Yep.
Definitely, man. And go check out Triple Cup Chuck's podcast on Wednesdays, because it's gonna be lit, damn it. It's not probably, it's going to be lit, damn it.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be hotter than shit, man.
Definitely. Remix, where can we find you, dude?
Wow, I feel like you said that with like such little enthusiasm. Like you're just like,
that's because I'm still mad at you, damn it, for missing so many damn podcasts.
Anyways, you can find me. My Twitter is Remix Essence. Same with my gamer tag, and yeah, man. So that's it. Remix Essence across the board, and hit me up if you want to play some games. I might be there, probably not. Definitely. I'm a busy motherfucker.
Yeah, you are, dude. You definitely are. And I was your host for the evening, Dark Optimus. You can find me on Twitter at the same name. You can also find me on Xbox Live at the same name. Attacktheglitcher. Absolutely pleasure to have you on here tonight, man.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolute blast, man. TripleCupChuck, always, dude. Always welcome to the Quest podcast, dude. We always love having you on here, dude.
It's having me out here.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And if you guys like what we're doing, please hit that like button and subscribe, because we do appreciate it. And we are out, people. Have a good night.
Later. Peace. Oh, yeah.